This summer, women's football changed once and for all. Yes, the success of the Lionesses transcended the sport into new levels, but there is still more to be done. Today we're here at Manchester City to catch up with one Lioness who helped capture the hearts of a nation. Lauren, great to see you. Thank you for sitting down with us. Interesting year. How has it been for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, to be honest. It's been such a whirlwind. Obviously with the Euros this summer, like we won and it was incredible, and yeah, I think ever since it's been crazy. Like the people you see on the streets who notice you and things like that, it's been incredible. But obviously it's now back to reality, back to the hard work at club.
So what is life like now for Lauren Hemp? Do you get spotted everywhere you go? Can you even go out for a coffee, see your friends?
To be fair, like I have been spotted quite a lot. A lot of it's back home in Norwich, where I grew up, because I went there after the Euros to spend some time at home, which was really nice. So yeah, a lot of it I get spotted back there. I think there's bigger celebrities than me in Manchester, to be honest, so I don't get spotted much around here. But yeah, the amount of opportunities I've had and appearances I've done ever since has been incredible, and yeah, it's so nice to be a part of, and so great to be in women's football right now because of how much it is growing.
Has it been daunting?
A little bit, to be honest. I think the whole of the Euros was just a whirlwind for me, and it went by so quickly, and got some incredible memories from it. And I think we expected big crowds and so many people watching it, but you never really truly believed that there'd be so many people interested, and so many more of my friends sort of want to speak about it and want to speak about women's football and come and watch games and things like that, and that's the way we want it to be, and hopefully it's only the start. So
let's go back to the beginning. It's always interesting whenever you speak to celebrities, athletes, there's always a member of the family who is very influential. When I think of you, there's almost stories around absolutely every member of your family.
Yeah.
You would play at your grandparents' house, but it was actually your sister who wanted to be a professional footballer.
Yeah, my whole family was sporty, to be honest. They all loved doing things like that, and so I was brought up in a household where we were all so active, and my sister's a couple of years older than me, and so she started playing football before me. So I think that's what sort of kick-started me into playing football, because I followed in her footsteps and went to her training and just stood there and watched to begin with, and then it wasn't until my dad sort of told me to go along and give it a go, and then I was like, all right, I might as well try, and yeah, I guess the rest is history.
Your dad had to convince you to go and watch your sister train. What did he say to get you to go along?
I can't really remember, to be honest, but I do remember like going to watch her play for Norwich at the time, and I was just there dancing, I think, or just in my own world, to be honest. But yeah, I wasn't interested at all, and so yeah, I don't really know where that spark came from, but I do also remember being around my grandparents' house, like you said, and kicking a ball about in the backyard, and my granddad was like, oh, well, she's actually got something, and so yeah.
What would you have rather been doing than watching your sister train?
Anything but, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, probably watching something on TV and sitting on the sofa.
Your sister eventually tore both ACLs. Was that almost difficult to watch her kind of dreams of becoming a professional footballer slip away?
Yeah, of course. She went to a lot of, like, sort of at the time England camps and things like that. Like, she'd go away for weekends and stuff, and that was when I was only starting out football. So yeah, it was nice to see her doing so well, but then obviously unfortunately she got injured at such a young age, and it's hard when you're that age to then come back stronger, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. And like, she's still involved in football, and she's a PE teacher now, so she's still active and things like that. But yeah, it is hard to see when your sister obviously wants to be a professional footballer too, and so I'm sort of like trying to do that as well, not only for me but the rest of my family, for her as well. And yeah, it's nice for her to sort of see me do so well, and being able to come and watch me play for England, for City and things like that.
Is that almost a stark reminder at times that how delicate a career in football can be?
Yeah, of course. You see so many people get injured, and it's a part of football, and it's always going to happen. And I mean, you're very fortunate enough if you go through your whole career without any major injuries, and it's part and parcel of the job. And unfortunately, that's how it is. And yeah, a football career is so short, and like it could finish at any point. So yeah, it's important to enjoy every moment, and I think that's a massive thing for me growing up, is just to take it all in and enjoy every second, because like you said, it doesn't last very long. And the reason I started playing football was because I loved it, and will continue to do so.
You started out playing with the boys at North Walsham. Mm-hmm. What was that like, and was it ever questioned at the time?
It was definitely different to girls' football. There wasn't any girls' teams in my area, so I had to play with boys. I think for me personally, it helped a lot with the physical side of the game. They were a lot stronger. I ended up playing with them after Norwich City. Their like centre got closed down, so I went back to play with them like on my last year of high school. So when I was about 15 or 16, and you're playing against like grown boys. So yeah, it was difficult, and every now and again I'd get people on the sideline shouting things, even the lads, like they didn't want to get beat by a girl, and so when they did, they were very frustrated. So I had a lot of heavy tackles, to be honest. But I think once you show them a thing or two, like they're sort of like, right, okay, which is actually all right. But yeah, it came with its challenges, but I did love it as well, because I played with people who was at my school who had respect for me as well. So even if the other team sort of thought something, I knew I always had my teammates around me to sort of pick me up.
What kind of comments would you get?
I think just the typical, like, she's a girl. I did have someone at one point say break her legs or something like that, and my dad was fuming. But yeah,
so.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, just typical comments like go back to the girls' team and things like that. But yeah, when you end up winning the league, it's a bit like shove it in your face.
And rightly so,
yeah.
Again. So what was the moment when you could finally see a pathway in women's football? Because you went to Bristol City,
yeah.
You played for England at this point, you'd already achieved quite a lot.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, it was very hard to sort of see a clear pathway of how you could become a successful women's footballer. It wasn't until when I was a bit older, sort of, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, that like I realised this is what I really want to do. Am I able to do it as a living and earn enough money to be able to do that as a job? And one of the girls that I played with, who was a year older than me, she went to Bristol firstly, and I went and asked her what it was like, and went and had a look at the place, and yeah, it was just incredible. And I knew as soon as I got there that was where I wanted to be. But I didn't really truly believe that it was going to happen until it did, because I used to go away from home and I used to cry all the time because I hated being away from home, and then the thought of being away, like moving away when I was 16 into the big world, like never really sunk in until it happened.
Did your family have doubts? Did they question your decision making?
I think, to be fair, they missed me more than I missed them. In the end, because yeah, I was out living my best life while they was just sat at home. But yeah, they stuck with me by every decision, and they have done ever since. They're really supportive parents, and yeah, they always come to my games whenever they can, and yeah, I know that they're always supporting me back home, which is nice. And I've always been supported growing up, like taking me to training straight after they get back from work and things like that. So I'm lucky enough to have a great support network around me. And
then City come to town. Mm-hmm. That contract gets put on the table.
Yeah.
What then goes through your mind?
It was a pretty special moment, to be honest. I think I've said in many interviews before, like when they first called me, I thought this must be some person just trying to wind me up or something like that. And then my mum rang Nick, who was the manager at the time, and asked, like, is this legit? And he was like, yeah, it's real, and we want you to come, and like it's something you can't say no to. As soon as I got here, seen the facilities, seen everything about the club and what it stands for and what it wanted to achieve. Like, I've always wanted to win trophies and be the best player that I can be, and I believe being here at City is only going to help me do that. And yeah, I mean, 4 years later, I haven't looked back.
Not been a bad 4 years either.
No, it hasn't. Been pretty special.
4 times PFA Young Player of the Year award. Mm-hmm. What's the target now? Where do we go from here?
Well, there's still another year to win another one, so I mean, I like to do the same again, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoy winning personal trophies and sort of being recognised by players that I come up against, fans, teammates, staff. It's sort of great to be acknowledged. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to be the best one day, but yeah, it's going to take a lot of hard work. But yeah, for me, I just take every day as it comes, to be honest, so I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
And the new WSL season is underway.
Yeah.
What can fans expect this time around from a City team?
I think off the back of the Euros and off the back of the summer, like, it's going to be incredible. We've already seen record attendances, viewing figures have gone through the roof, and yeah, I know it's going to be a special year, and teams have invested and got so many good players that anyone can win the league, and it's going to be so close this year, and it's exciting to be a part of, and this is a time now to be involved in women's football and in one of the best leagues in the world, so yeah, I know it's going to be special.
So let's talk England. When you hear the word Lioness, what comes to mind?
I think just pride is probably a main one that stands out for me. I always love putting on the England shirt and representing the badge, and every time I play for England, like, I've got so much passion and pride, and I want to do so well for the country, and it's so nice to come up with, like, play alongside players that you play against in the WSL week in, week out, and play against the best, and then to play alongside them is special as well. And yeah, it's great. Like, I want to be playing on the world's biggest stage possible, and I've had so many experiences at Wembley, places like that have just been incredible, and I've had so many amazing experiences so far, and hopefully long may that continue.
Do you feel the pressure now to be a Lioness, to have such a massive summer behind you? It carries such weight now. Yeah,
I think for me, like, I think you'd be lying if you didn't say that you do feel pressure sometimes, and like, it comes with a lot of expectation, because like, we've just won the Euros, and there's no hiding away from the fact that, like, we want to be successful in the future, and we want to go on and do well in the World Cup as well. So it's important that we carry on how we have done, because we've done so well so far, especially with Serena coming in, and she's now unbeaten in how many games? Quite a lot. Like, yeah, it's a special time to be involved in the England setup, and yeah, I'm fortunate to keep getting called up, which is really nice, and yeah, I'm happy to play a part in.
Footballers are often kept in bubbles, especially during tournaments. Were you aware during the Euros of the magic that was happening around you?
I think for me, during the Euros, I stayed a lot off social media. I tried not to get caught up in it, because I knew there'd be so many high expectations of people. Like, when I was looking, even months before the Euros even began, there was articles coming through left, right and centre, and it'd be all I'd see on my feed. So for me, when the Euros started, I just tried to stay off of it, because I thought, I just want to focus on myself, focus on the team and the job at hand, because we've done so well up until this point. Like, I don't need anything to distract me or make the expectations even bigger.
You played a massive part in that tournament, but that final whistle, that moment when you've won and you realise that all the hard work has paid off, describe that feeling to me.
Oh, it's hard to describe, to be honest. Like, it was incredible. I was on the bench at the time, because I just got subbed off about 5 minutes earlier, and I think it was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
Were you looking around?
Yeah, well, when you're sitting there and you're like, sometimes it's harder when you just sat there, because you can't do anything to help, and you're just like, yeah, it was incredible. I was just watching the ref for the last few minutes, and I was like, just put the whistle in your mouth and blow it. But yeah, when that final whistle went, I don't think I sprinted faster than I ever have done before. But yeah, it was incredible, and the scenes after, like, it's a moment that I'll definitely cherish for the rest of my life.
So how did you celebrate?
Well,
can we say?
Well,
who did you celebrate with?
Well, my family, they came down to sort of the bit afterwards. It was just at our hotel, and yeah, it was nice to sort of get together as a group, as a team, and everyone's families came together and just sort of celebrated, because yeah, you don't get many moments like that in your life, so it's important that you cherish them. And yeah, it was important that we did that as a team, and then we also done another team event the next day as well, and yeah, it was fantastic. And then I got to go home for a bit, which was just topped it off, to be honest.
You mentioned social media a few moments ago. Have you suffered abuse on social media throughout your career, and I guess has that even continued up to now, even since you've won the Euros?
Yeah, I think every now and again, like, I'll always get tagged in something on Twitter, or like there'll be comments, and I think as much as the women's game's growing, the more it grows, the more there's going to be criticism and eyes on and critiques everywhere that you look. And obviously when you have a good performance, that's then the standard every single game, and you've got to maintain that. And unfortunately with that, it comes people who don't think you're good enough, who've got comments to say. And yeah, I have had some of that, but I think it's part and parcel of the job. Everyone's going to go through it, and it's important that, for me, I just brush it to the side, and like, you don't listen to Bob from Reading or something who's got something to say, like, what are you, a professional footballer as well? Like, yeah, it's just one of them things. And yeah, I think a lot of us do well to sort of handle things like that.
But now, when you look around, there's girls' camps in every city. There's women's teams growing all the time. The WSL is in the best place it's ever been in. But is there also that sense that this is just the beginning?
Yeah, I think we said after the Euros finished, like, for us, that wasn't the ending, that wasn't our story done now. It was just the beginning, and we wanted change, and we wanted football, sport, to be available in schools and to just help continue that growth. And yeah, for us, I think you even see now that even after like a month or so, like, there's been so many changes, and hopefully long may that continue. And it's important that we keep implementing that in schools, and yeah, just trying to get so many people involved in women's football, because the more talent that comes through, the better our England teams, the WSL, is going to be in the future.
So finally, what is your message to any young girl out there, any future aspiring Lauren Hemps? What would you say to them?
I think the main thing for me is to just enjoy it. If you want to play football when you're older, it's important that you first and foremost, you love doing it, because if you're going to do it for the next 10 years, then it's important that you love what you do and you work hard and believe in yourself. I think that's a massive one as well, just believing in who you are, and I think that's what gave me the belief. If you don't believe yourself, then who's going to believe in you? So yeah, just enjoy it and have faith in yourself, and yeah, take every moment in.